Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Chuck Rogers, licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, and I am a network engineer,
And together we're Tabletop Coffee.
where we are bold and never, ever bitter.
And tonight we continue with our marriage sip series, our marriage tip series, number what?
Oh my goodness, I have no idea.
We'll put it in the description below. Stay tuned. And we're going to talk about how to get out of double binds. Right?
Oh, double binds.
Yeah.
I like that. I think I've heard of that before, double binds.
Yeah, it's a thing of where if you truly darned if you do and darned if you don't kind of situation.
Right. Yeah.
It's the lose-lose situation that we sometimes find ourselves in.
Yeah.
In various parts of our life, but certainly in marriage as well.
Right.
So what would be maybe an example of a lose-lose situation that would come up for couples? There's thousands of them.
Oh yeah, there are. One that comes to mind is probably money. Maybe you have more bills than you have money for, and then in order to cover all of that, you're working more time, but then you're at work more, so you don't have enough time for your spouse.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And so that's
maybe the
one of
spouse
those
will complain. Yeah, we need more money, but then when you work more, well, you're never around and I never see you. So which do I do? Do I work more or do we not have enough money? That's a great one.
Yeah.
Or maybe another one is that I'm complaining about money to my wife, and then she says, well, let's trim the budget. And so that's a great idea. And then we go in and trim the budget. And then I say, well, we can't trim that because that's something I enjoy. So then she's stuck worrying about, do we not have enough money? Or she's stuck worrying about me complaining about the things that she wants to cut out.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, so today in supervision, I was talking with one of my great residents, Wolfgang. He's a marriage expert, and he says he has a hack. He says it's a marriage hack that he uses when couples get into these tit-for-tat, banter-for-banter situations where one spouse is putting the other spouse in a double-bind situation. He tells them this phrase.
Okay.
Say, well, honey, how can I support you with that? And asks the spouse, ask the wife then in this case, what it is that she would specifically want.
Oh, that's great. So that forces them to think through this process and give an answer, give a response on this.
Yeah. I'll give you an example of how it happened many, many years ago. I'm going to tell on my friend and former business partner, Susan. We went to Charlottesville to a play with Susan and her husband.
Okay.
And Kim and I were in the back, and he was driving, and Susan was in the passenger seat. And it was winter, and it was fluctuating on the way home between like 32 degrees, 33, 34, 33, 32. Kept fluctuating on the way home. And Susan would say, watch the temp. Watch the temperature. Watch the temperature. And her husband would say, I'm watching it, Susan. And then watch your speed. Watch your speed. And then he would say, I'm watching my speed. And then you could see Susan looking over at the temperature gauge time and time again, look at the speedometer. And in a few minutes, she would say, watch your speed. Watch your speed. Watch the temperature. Watch the temperature. And finally, he wisely looked at her and said, Susan, at what speed would you be comfortable with me driving?
Oh, that's perfect.
And she says, there is no speed I'd be comfortable.
Oh, that's great.
And Kim and I laughed, and they laughed about it, but it was a great thing. So basically, he was using Wolfgang's hack, saying, how can I support you in this? And he just said, at what speed would you be comfortable with me driving?
Man, that's good.
It was wonderful. And then it didn't happen anymore. And then he carefully kind of limped back into Lynchburg, and we had dinner that night.
Okay.
But that's what it is that when your spouse is wanting something and you try to provide it, that's not good.
Right.
And then they're wanting something and you try to provide it, it's not good. You need to say, how could I support you in this? Or specifically, what is it that you would like for me to do?
Man, isn't
that great?
That tip should move to the front of the list. Yeah. I wish I could move that video to tip number 1 because I've really, really liked that. And what's so great is that showing how the husband responded in that way shows that it can be done. You don't need somebody else there to mediate this. You can ask that same question. That's perfect.
Yeah, and you've got to, it goes back to the whole thing. So you're basically asking, I'd like you to make a request.
That's right. Exactly.
And when I fulfill this for you, when I support this, when I'm supporting you,
Right.
what will I be doing or what will I be saying? So the
That's right.
support must be seeable or doable, or you can't be successful.
Right. So it puts that other person in that place of, I have to give an answer, and then I have to be okay with the answer
Yeah.
that is given. And then the person receiving that, accepting that, moving forward with that, and both being okay with that moving
Yeah. How
forward.
can I support you with that? Thank you, Wolfgang,
man.
for helping us
Wolfgang.
with our video today.
That is awesome.
I didn't know
Thank
he
you.
was that great.
No, I think he's really great. I think he's amazing. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, I hope you
Wolfgang
liked
that
our
much.
content. If you did, would you please subscribe, because we would really appreciate that.
Yeah, and please ding that bell so you're notified of upcoming episodes.
Make sure to like it.
Yeah, share it with your friends.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time.
Thank you, Wolfgang.